Good day. So today we were talking about trusting yourself more, how you can trust yourself more. So have you ever, kind of thought something and you're like, oh, it's going to be this way, and then it panned out and it was not that way. And this began the process of you not trusting yourself, or maybe something happened and you thought that you could trust somebody else, and then it turned out that you couldn't, and you're like, wow, man, was I ever way off about that? Well, here's the thing. When I would regress my clients back, because this is what I do basically with 98% of the people that come to me, is it's all regression. And trust is a huge issue for a lot of people. Just saying, I just wish I could trust myself more. I'm always second guessing myself. I just wish I could trust myself more. So many people have this as an issue. So what I would do, if we were working together, is I would have you bring up that feeling, that lack of trust that you don't have in yourself, and we would follow it back. And the thing about it is, there will be a reason why it's there. There will be a reason. It'll be, they might regress back to finding out, my boyfriend cheated on me when I was however old, or, this friend betrayed me, or, whatever it happens to be. But upon this regression, going back and figuring out that when it kind of, began, and discovering that, what we realized is that typically that person did actually know. They did intuitively know, that they couldn't trust that person, or, whatever was going on. They intuited it, but then they talked themselves out of it. They, talked themselves out of it. But because they believed, they subconsciously believed, ooh, I can't trust this person, or I can't whatever, it then happened. But, so it was, okay, first of all, there's nothing to forgive, ever, for somebody else. So if you were betrayed or something like this happened, there's nothing to forgive. I mean, you must forgive, but there's really nothing to forgive. So let me tell you about this. So the reason why people do things to us is because there's lessons that need to be learned. There can be previous agreements that were made before you ever even step foot on the earth, saying, okay, this is my soul group. I got, I don't know, however many people in it. Now you're going to play this role for me. Okay, and you're going to play this role for me, and you're going to play this role for me. Now, you're going to betray me because this is the lesson I need to learn. You're going to hurt me because this is the lesson I learn. You're going to do this to me because this is the lesson I need to learn. You're going to be here for me. You're going to be 100% here for me. You're never going to betray me because I need to have somebody on my side. But when you realize that all these people who are in your soul group, who you've been doing this with, it's millions, it's endless. It's just endless. It goes on for always and always and always. When you realize that this goes on forever, you realize that there is nothing to forgive, that everything was agreed upon before you ever even set foot here on this earth, and therefore we can be thankful for everything, even the betrayals, even this person doing this, so it makes it, oh no, I don't trust myself because this thing happened. All of it, you can be thankful for all of it, because all of it is a gift that helps your soul to grow. It helps your soul to grow. Let me give you an example. So here's my example. So I had a past life session that was done where I realized that the person that was in my life that harmed me in that life was my father in this life. Even though in that life we were not related, we really had nothing to do with each other, although we played a huge significant role in each other's lives. Up until the day we met, we were complete strangers. Obviously, I guess that's the case with everyone. But anyways, so I am in this past life with my father, this father that I have in this life, but in that life he was just a nobody to me, and he had killed someone. And so I got revenge on it, because he did this to me, to my family. And so I got revenge on him and his family. Next thing I know, I'm seeing myself burning at the stake. I do not forgive this man, right? I'm dying. I'm being punished as my death because I'm assuming what I did to him, although I'm not sure if everybody knew. I don't know why I was killed in that life. Anyways, I pass on. We go up to the light and we realize, me and my father in this life, although he didn't appear to be at that time, he was some colonel. We realize, oh, this was about forgiveness, and I had got revenge on him rather than forgiving him. And we realized, great, like we totally screwed up, and we got to do it again. We have to do this all over again. Because forgiveness was the lesson that was supposed to be learned. So what has to happen now to learn that forgiveness is that something has to be done that then would be bad enough that it would be difficult to forgive, because that's the lesson, that's the learning that comes from it. And so this was a previous agreement, right? We agreed, this is what's going to happen. We're going to come here, you're going to harm me, I'm going to forgive you, and we've set things straight, and then we don't have to do it again. But because we didn't do that in that life, we have to do it again. So do you want to keep forgiving people lifetime after lifetime, or do you want to do it now, set them free, set yourself free, and then you don't gotta forgive people anymore? But here's the deal, it was previously agreed, so there's nothing to forgive. This was a gift. This box of darkness that was gifted to me was an actual gift for myself. So anyone who has harmed me, which is interesting that it's typically always been men, maybe there's something to learn about that. Anyone who has ever harmed me throughout my life, which I can think of a few people that caused me actual harm, I have forgiven them, and I'm so very, very thankful that they did what they did. And I truly, deeply want the absolute best for them. And I hope that they, in this life, gain enlightenment, because this is the gift that they have given to me. Because had I not had my suffering and had I not had my pain, I would have had no reason to go and heal myself and spend weeks and weeks and weeks alone, meditating, connecting with the divine, and truly coming to a powerful enlightenment that has now helped me to be able to heal the people and all kinds of wonderful, miraculous things. So thank you to every single man who ever caused me any harm, because you let me step into my power. So what a gift that is. I want you to think about the people in your own life who have perhaps harmed you in some way. And if you were to view this, which is truthful, they came here to hurt you so you could forgive them, become stronger, become more powerful, realize how valuable and worthy you are, and never settle for anything less, and to truly live your life in alignment with the pure divine love that surrounds you at every single second, if you would only but recognize it. What a gift it is, all these people who have harmed you, right? So that, woman who talks so nasty to you and is so mean to you and cuts you down every single chance that you get, what a beautiful gift she is. She's showing you who you don't want to be, who you don't want to be around, and who you don't want in your life. Thank you. What a wonderful gift. Now, as soon as I let go of this nasty woman who's just nasty, well, now I have all of this energy. I've put up a boundary. I'm now not going to feel bad every time that I have to deal with this nasty woman. And I'm going to invite new energy into my life that's not nasty. And you're going to realize what a gift that was when someone who's not nasty comes into your life, and then you realize, oh wow, It all led me to right here, right now, in this moment. And so thank you for harming me, because I would still be with your nastiness had I not stood up for myself and left. And now, look what I have, something wonderful. So we need to be thankful for everything. And there truly is nothing to forgive, because it's always, 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 always a gift. Because only love exists, so there's nothing negative. So it really doesn't matter. It really, really doesn't matter what someone did. Now, I know this might piss a lot of people off, because you might be pissed about somebody did something to you. I've had the things done to me too, honey. Trust me. It's been done. But because of the enlightenment that I received several years ago, that allowed me to forgive instantly, just instantly. Oh, what? Realizing, oh, there's nothing to forgive. This is a favor. This is something that's wonderful that's been done for me. What a gift. What a gift this is. Thank you. And it turns that hate and that anger and that bitterness and the how and the why and the confusion and all that into something so beautifully good. Now, if you were abused, if something happened, and you're still bitter and you're still angry about it, I want you to think about that bitterness and that angry energy, and you're holding that within your energetic system. It's going to manifest physically in your body, and at some point, it will cause sickness, disease, some type of ailment in your body, as long as you continue to hold it, because that nasty energy of anger is lingering in your energetic system. Now, how do I know this? Because our energy can hang around from past lives. So certainly from this life, when you have an emotion, it's actually held within your energetic system. It has a color to it, it has a feeling to it, and it has a location of where it's housed inside of your body. Okay, so if you were to think about that person that you haven't forgiven, that you're still a little bit pissed at, feel in your body when you think about them, because I'm sure it's happening right now, where your body tensed up and tightened up. Notice it. That is where you're holding it in your body. That is the part of your body that eventually is going to come to some harm if you don't heal it. Here's the other thing. Sometimes we think this person doesn't deserve forgiveness. It's never about the other person. It's about you. It's about you setting yourself free. Because every time that you think about that person and you're pissed off, guess what? They have control over your energy. They're in control. And if this is somebody you need to forgive, I bet you don't want to give them 1 second of control of your life anymore, do you? No, you don't. And the only way to let that go is to forgive them and to truly forgive them. So how did I forgive this abusive boyfriend that I was covered in bruises, pregnant, and he's beaten me friggin' 6 days before I'm supposed to have my baby? How do I forgive a man like that? Well, it took 18 years. It took 18 years because I just didn't think about it. He owed me all kinds of money. I had bought him a car, all these things, all this stuff had happened, and there could have been so much hate and bitterness there, but instead I just kind of ignored it, didn't think about it for about 18 years. Anytime his name would come up, I would get annoyed and pissed, like, why would you talk about this person? Why are you bringing them up? Why are you bringing that up here right now? And I would get pissed, clearly showing that I'm not over it, that I was not healed. So then one day I realized I need to forgive this man. And it was the easiest thing I ever did, but it took 18 years. And I wasn't ready until then. Because I had a child and I wanted to keep my child safe and I wanted him to have nothing to do with my child, this abusive man. But the day that I decided to forgive him, I did a meditation and I went into this meditation. And I had so much compassion for him. I saw him as a young boy and he lived in a very abusive household. His father left him when he was 7 years old. And his dad used to put cigarettes out on his mom. Oh, here's my cigarette. I'm going to put it out on you. That was the type of man his father was. So this is the example that he had. So I'm doing this meditation and I see him as a little boy, and all of a sudden I had buckets of compassion for him, and I just wanted every good and wonderful thing for this man. I knew that he was at least with the woman and had a couple other kids, and I had always been concerned that he was abusing them, and I thought, no, this is, I was concerned about that, and I just thought, no, I have so much compassion for him. I hope he's okay. I hope he's good to these people. I hope he gains enlightenment. I hope all these good and wonderful things happen to this man. And I was completely free. And my energy changed. I felt the freedom in my energy, and realizing how easy this was, it was like, I could forgive anybody for anything now. And there was no previous life, nothing that ever came up between me and that man. This was current life, what had happened. But what happened because of that? Well, I was 15. I know, right? When I got pregnant, had my baby when I was 16. He's now 25. And what a wonderful man he is. But because I had to do this on my own, there was so many things I had to learn. I had to become stronger. I had to go through several years of my own hell, put myself through things, but it made me stronger along the way. Every little step made me stronger, more stronger, more stronger, more stronger. And the fact that he was not in my life, that in itself was a gift, because he was very abusive and he would have abused my child. So what a gift that is, to be free from someone like that. But I'm telling you, it took me 18 years to come to that realization, and to realize one day, oh, I need to forgive this person. And maybe it would have been different had I not had a child. Protect him for those 18 years and then we'll see. So I forgive him. Within, a couple weeks or a couple months. So I have not spoken to this man in 18 years. I get a message from him on Facebook. Didn't know he could find me on there. Anybody can, but didn't know. I get this message, and I'm like, what the heck? And what is it but a nice paragraph apologizing to me for how horrible he was to me, and hoping that me and my son are doing okay. Now, had I received this message prior to my forgiving him, it would not have gone over well. I would have been like, well, he knows where we live. He's going to come. He wanted something to do with my son, or, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm sure it would not have been okay. But because I had forgiven him fully, completely, and had so much compassion for him and wanted every good and wonderful thing to happen in his life and for his wife and for his family, when I received this message, it was the most welcome thing ever. I was like, cool, look, I got this note. That's real nice. And I don't know what I said back, like, all good, thanks, or something. I don't know what I said. Haven't talked to him since. Don't need to. But the point is, when I forgave him, because telepathy is real, remember this. When I forgave him, it released him as well. But this is what we want, because that's real forgiveness. If you say, I forgive this person, but you don't want every good and wonderful thing for them, maybe you've kind of forgiven them, but you have not forgiven them to the level of divine love. And it is when you do that that you experience the freedom that comes from that. And you have then set that person free. You've then broken your karmic tie. I don't have to forgive him next life. Certainly not. Done. Thanks for the lesson. But what happens here? Well, patterns repeat, right? So if we're not treated properly when we're little, then you probably have a parent that you need to forgive. And if you don't forgive that parent, well, then you're probably going to end up in a relationship with someone who's going to treat you like that parent treated you, unless you take the extreme opposite and say, I'm never doing this, because you learned early on So thank you, parent, either way. You either showed me what I want in life or you showed me what I don't want in life. What a wonderful gift that is. But when you have a parent that perhaps hasn't treated you properly, you're then going to have, perhaps, subsequent relationships that follow along that same pattern. Now, the reason why you do this is because you hold subconscious beliefs. It could be, I'm just realizing this as I'm saying this now, about men. You know, most of the women that I encounter in my life, all the women, kindly, nice. And the men, that was not the case. So there was a belief that I had that men hurt me, they harm me. And because I had that belief, they do, and they did. But this, in itself, was a needed and necessary belief that I had to have so that I could learn the lessons that needed to be learned before I gained enlightenment. So there's never anything wrong. If you're not there yet in a certain area or this or that, it's because you're not supposed to be. But if you're in the same place yesterday as you are today, that's where the problem comes. Because then there is no growth. We should be constantly looking to grow and expand and become better and perfect ourselves even more. Now, I say that there's nothing to forgive, but there's everything to forgive. And I say there's nothing because it was predestined, it was preordained, so there's people who are coming who are agreeing to hurt you, like, hey, well, if you hold on to that belief for this long, don't you worry, in 2024 I'm going to show up and this is what's going to happen. Okay, well, if you hold on to that belief for that much longer, well, in 2026 it's going to happen again. It's predestined. It's preordained. And we have these choices presented to us. And we can choose to heal them, or we can choose to do it next lifetime. But if you notice that there are any patterns in your life, it is because you have an underlying belief that has attracted that to your life. So if people harm you and hurt you, there could be a million different reasons why, but it's all because of your belief and because you agreed to these things beforehand, and so those beliefs have to be in alignment for those things to happen, and then we change the beliefs. But it's the awareness of it. That's what we're looking for. That's why we're here. It's learning, right? It's becoming aware, consciously aware of our own consciousness. This is why meditation is so important, because it's having you observe your own thoughts, having you observe your own consciousness, hopefully leading to no thought. But there's a lot that can come when you observe your own consciousness. Like, for example, if you were to look at something in the room that you're in, or look at something around you, look at it, think about it, and then if you were to close your eyes, for some reason, you can still see that thing in your mind, right? You can think about it. You know what it looks like. Your mind is taking a mental picture of it, and it's just right there. And as you're thinking about that thing, I want you to think about the part of your mind that is creating that and thinking about it, and then think about the part of your mind that's observing that. And then think about the part of your mind that's still listening to me. And we got endless parts of our mind. There's not just one, it's endless, these layers of consciousness that we have. And all of these things that are presented to us in our life for observation. All right, here comes in an abusive relationship. Excellent. Oh, I'm observing what happened here now. Now that I can look at it, how many years after the fact, I can see all the lessons and all the learning that was coming from it. Well, what's going to happen next? Well, perhaps because that happened to me, now I feel like I'm not good enough or I'm not worthy. So what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to attract somebody in my life that's going to prove that to me. Because my beliefs will be realized and actualized and woven into the fabric of my actual life, my actual reality. So because that happened there, I now believe this, well, it started at childhood. Okay, well, I think this now, people maybe don't treat people right. Okay, well, now I have more proof of that. And then I have more proof, and then I have more proof, and then I have more proof, and then I have more proof. But all I'm proving to myself is my beliefs, not reality. It's become my reality, but only because I believed it in the first place. I've created it through my own belief. So, what happens now? Okay, well, if you don't forgive that first person, which obviously I didn't because I was a child, not in my mind, I wasn't thinking of that. I just wanted to avoid. Well, what's going to happen? Well, because of this, now you're going to end up with somebody else who's not going to treat you quite right. And all these beliefs that you have, they're just going to keep proving, and you're going to say, see, I knew it. See, I knew it. See, I knew it. And we want to be right so much that we don't care that it's a negative thing. But once you observe it and once you realize, see, I'm right. You're right. You created it. So this is what you wanted because you created it through your subconscious beliefs. You don't know. I mean, it's not what you want, but it's what the universe thinks you want because of the frequency that you were emitting, that you were sending out. The beliefs that you had that you're sending out hold a vibrational frequency. They imbue all the space that's all around you, and they create your actual visible reality. So if you have some abuse, so some abusive relationship or something like that, well, what's going to happen? You're gonna get more. Till you start to heal these things. So pretty soon, you start realizing like, you know what? I've healed these things. I forgave that person. I forgave that person. All these things. You know what? I think I'm pretty freaking valuable. I'm pretty worthy. Yeah, I want what I want. And then your attitude kind of changes and your attitude kind of shifts. And then all of a sudden, now that you've cleaned house of your subconscious mind, once you forgive the people and you learn the lessons and you realize the thing and you've cleared the house out, your mind, because your body is your home. It's where you live always. Every day, all day long. And once you've cleaned house and you've set yourself free and you realize, oh wow, I'm valuable and I'm worthy, you know what? I want this in my life. And so then when something presents itself to you and it's not what you want, then you go, no, I don't want that. Because the divine loves me so much. The divine wants something wonderful for me, and I know that I'm so valuable and I'm so worthy of it, and I'm expecting this wonderful thing to come to me now because the beliefs that I have underlying, constantly running 24/7, always, 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 have changed and have shifted. And so now I'm vibrating these new things into my life, wonderful things into my life. But the only way that they come in is when you let go of the things that you do not want in your life. So when something presents itself to you, you're like, oh, this looks good. Oh, it's good. Oh, maybe it's not. Ooh, I don't know about this. Ooh, this doesn't make me feel so good. Okay, change my mind. I don't want it anymore. All right, that thing's gone. What am I manifesting now? Now I've cleared up my energy. Now I need to, because that thing came into my life, the only reason it came into my life is because I was vibing not where I was supposed to be vibing, or it would not have come into my life. Okay, well, I'm going to dismiss that thing, that energy. I'm going to lift myself back up, all the way up higher. I didn't realize I wasn't high enough. And I'm going to lift myself up there, and then what's going to present itself to me? Wonderful things that are in alignment with exactly what I asked for. But the only reason why I got it is because I let go of all that it was not. This is how the energy works. You will have things presented to you, and the universe will say, here, what do you think of this? Is this good enough? And if you're afraid, if you're living in fear, and you think that settling is going to be good for you, many people settle because they have an underlying belief that they're not worthy of what they really want, or what they really want isn't actually possible for them, or whatever belief they happen to have underlying, that belief will be proven true to them time and time again, for always and always. Because it's in the right now that we're creating. So until you change that belief in the right now, You will continue to perpetuate the same things that you had happen in the past. So if there's a belief, you just need, how you can determine this is look at the patterns that you've had in your life. How's it played out? How do you feel? What's going on? And then really go inward and really look at yourself. Okay, so I had this abusive, parent, then this relationship, then this husband who betrayed me. And it's like, what were the beliefs about myself and about my life that led to that? And then when you realize that, then you can clear them out. So then it's not going to happen again. And so then you get back out in the world and you're like, all right, everything all good. And then something else presents it to yourself, itself to you, and you're like, oh, this is real nice. And then you realize, oh, there's still more healing that I need to do. And then you create even more healing in yourself. And it just elevates more and more and more. All right, well, I apologize. I just got a phone call that I knew I needed to take, so now I'm a little bit thrown off. But when we can learn the lessons that we have to learn, and we can honestly perceive them in a true and honest way, that there's nothing to forgive, that this was preordained, that all these things happened, all this harm, all this pain that came to you was for a lesson so that you could learn, so that your soul could grow, so that you could go deeper, so that you could understand, so that you could evolve, so that the consciousness that you're living in could elevate, and so that we could elevate the collective consciousness of this beautiful earth that we're on here. When you realize that all of the pain and all the suffering that you have gone through has been the most beautiful and wonderful gift, because it allowed you to clear house of all the beliefs that you had that were attracting all these negative things to yourself. When you can realize and when you can begin to trust yourself and know that these things happen for a reason. They happen for a reason, and you intuited and you knew and you ignored. And because you ignored it, this happened. But this was in itself a gift to teach you to listen to yourself and to trust yourself more. There's nothing that is not a gift. And I know that we go through difficult things. And I have so much sympathy and so much empathy. And I understand and I feel people and I get it. And I don't love to see the pain. But I understand and I know how beautiful it can be, because it can transform your soul and elevate you. And it can allow all of these beliefs and all these things that have been underlying, that have attracted all of these negative things into your life, it can allow those things to leave and to go and to shift and to clear your energy up. And you can be living in this beautiful high vibrational divine energy, rather than the suffering or believing that you're a victim because of these things. They're agreed upon. And so you perhaps have played the bad person in somebody's life too. Maybe you did something. Maybe you're that person. Well, when that person forgives you, I need you to know that what you did to that person was also a gift for them. Because if someone is strong enough to forgive something that is difficult to forgive, they are powerful. They're strong. They've grown. It takes a lot. That's all I got for you guys here today. I'm sorry, but I got thrown off by that phone call that I knew I needed to take, and I did need to take it. But it threw me off track. Anyways, I hope that you all have the most wonderful day today. Thank you for tuning in here, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.